What up? So, I wanted to go over what are the most important things to focus on during an approach in order of importance. All right. A lot of guys, they don't really know where to put their efforts. Like, they'll start out approaching and they're like, okay, well, what's the best opener? And, okay, I gotta tell this one DHV story every single time, and I gotta insert whatever fucking dumb thing they think. Well, it's not dumb. I mean, if you're new to it, you're not gonna know what to do, obviously. But guys just focus on the incorrect things, and because of that, they don't actually make improvement, or the improvement's really slow. So I'm gonna go over everything that's actually important. So the first thing, which is the most important, is looks. All right. A lot of people really don't like that because they think that what I'm saying is you have to be basically a male model. And if you're not a male model, then you're basically fucked. It's either a male model or you're an ugly piece of shit. That's not true. All you have to do is meet the girl's minimum looks threshold, which is the minimum attractiveness you have to be for a girl to consider sleeping with you. And the minimum looks threshold is actually a lot lower than guys think. The reason why guys think that it's very high is because guys look at it how guys think that girls view attractiveness kind of the same way that guys view attractiveness, where it's like, okay, the girl's hot. All right, that is literally all that matters. And so guys think that if they're only like, they kind of look good, like they're okay, they don't think they need to focus on anything else. They don't think that social skills or improving their expressiveness or confidence or ability to escalate or all this other stuff, they don't think that it will actually help. And so, let's say you're a guy who is you're like a 7, all right? And you go up to a girl and her minimum looks threshold is 7. Okay, so you meet that. But they also have a confidence threshold. And they also have a quote unquote like a personality threshold. Like you have to be funny. But since the guy is all he is a 7 in looks, and he's not confident and he's not funny, the girl's going to reject him. So they think, oh, I must not be good looking enough. Most of the time, that's not it. It's that you are good looking enough, but you also have to have all these other traits. And because you don't have those other traits, she's going to reject you. But guys don't think about that. So they're like, oh, it must have only been the looks. All right. So the minimum looks threshold for most women is actually a lot lower than you think. You just have to have other traits. All right. Now, the reason why looks are the most important is because that's the very first filter you have to pass through. Like, the only reason a girl's going to talk to you is if she's somewhat attracted to you. Physical attraction is the foundation of all attraction. All right. The girl has to be at least somewhat physically attracted to you. So if you are thinking about starting approaching or doing any type of dating or anything like that, if you are overweight, do not approach until you lose weight. If you dress like shit, you just have like raggedy t-shirts and you wear like gym shorts and pajama pants everywhere and shit. I'm talking from personal experience. I used to just, when I was like in my lower 20s, I would just wear pajama pants and fucking t-shirts everywhere before I actually started dressing well and doing all that shit. If you just don't look good, literally don't even start, because what's going to happen is you're going to start approaching and your rejection rate and the receptivity, your rejection rate's going to be so high and your receptivity of the girls is going to be so low that it's going to demoralize you, and you're going to have like a really bad start, and then that's going to demoralize you and demotivate you from actually improving other things and continuing. So it's better to just start off when you already look good, so you start off on a good foot and you have a bunch of good positive reference experience starting out. Okay, so looks is the most important thing. But again, I would need to emphasize that doesn't mean that you need to be holy shit amazing looking. You just need to meet the minimum looks threshold of the girl. All right, so the second most important thing is general social skills. All right, basically, you just need to have the ability to have a normal conversation with the girl. You don't need to be holy shit super dynamic and all this other stuff. You just need to be able to have a normal conversation with her without any visible anxiety and without being quote unquote weird. I can't really give a good definition for weird. Just you can smoothly get through a conversation and there's no visible anxiety, and it just feels like a good normal conversation. There's no like weird awkward pauses or you don't know what to say or whatever. All right, so looks and then just general social skills. The third most important thing is expressiveness. So expressiveness is the degree, this is my definition of expressiveness, how it relates to dating, is the degree to which you are doing and saying what you want. All right, so you think a thing and you say it, like you don't really have a filter. You're excited about something, like you talk like you're excited about it. It's basically you don't have a filter. Now, when I say that, some guys are like, oh, does that mean you just say crazy off the wall shit all the time? Well, no, because I don't want to say crazy off the wall shit all the time. Like, expressiveness is doing and saying the things you want to say. All right. So if you're not a crazy person, then you're not going to say crazy shit. It's just about getting rid of the filter. Like, oh, you think a thing and you think it's going to be a funny joke, then just fucking say it. She says something and you don't like it or you kind of question it. Say you question it. Be like, no, I don't even believe that. Are you really that thing? Yes, I'm that thing. Blah blah. Okay, I guess I'll take your word for it. Like just like little shit like that. All right. So if you have just these three things, this is basically all you need to have pretty good results with approaching. If you look good, if you have good general social skills, and you have above average expressiveness, like you say, you're not super stifled, you're not super timid, like you say basically most of what you want to say and you do mostly what you want to do and you're not super self-conscious about it. That is really all you need to be successful with approaching. You don't need to fucking make the conversation super, you need to make it super sexual and you need to do all this other crazy shit. As long as you have these three things, and assuming you go for the number every single time, you'll get dates and you'll get laid. Now, there are other things that can give you a little bit more of a boost, because this is literally just those three things is probably 80, I'm going to say 80% of it, 80, 90%. But there are some other things that do also help. So, having strong frame, all right? So, frame, my definition, is your ability to assert your will on the world and remain unaffected in the face of resistance. All right. So if you look good, have good general social skills, and you're expressive, but if a girl kind of tests you a little bit, or she says something that kind of throws you off, and it does actually kind of throw you off a little bit, you can still get laid. It would be better if it didn't throw you off, but if you have those first three things, that's usually good enough in most situations. All right. But you can lose out on girls if you don't pass enough of their quote unquote shit tests. I don't even believe most of those exist, but I'm just putting the terminology out there so you know what I'm talking about. All right. If you get thrown off real easily, or you're not super confident in what you say and being able to lead and escalate and move things forward, then that can lose you some lays. It won't lose you all of them, but it can lose you some. All right. So fourth most important thing, which is, again, those first three things are about 80% of it. But another thing that can help kind of optimize is having strong frame, which is asserting your will and being strong with it. And then also not being affected if, they throw some shit at you that you don't expect. And, oh, yeah, so actually, I guess there's only four things. I thought I had a fucking fifth thing there. So now notice that I didn't say confidence a single time in there, all right? I do use confidence. I use the terminology like if I'm coaching or in videos and stuff like that. But you don't need to actually directly work on confidence. Confidence is a thing that happens as a result of doing all those other things. What you want to work on is you want to work on the indicators of confidence. Like, because if I asked you, well, what would you work on to improve your confidence? You wouldn't really be able to say anything. You would say, oh, well, hold a better eye contact, or be able to lead an interaction or escalate when it's necessary, or, speak louder and have better vocal tonality or whatever. You wouldn't be able to actually say, how to improve confidence. You would list all these indicators of confidence, all right? So when you're trying to come across as more confident or actually improve your actual core confidence, don't even work on it specifically. You want to just focus on the indicators. So that's why those first four things are important. If you look good, people just assume you're more confident and more valuable than you actually are. If you have good general social skills, you can have a normal conversation with new people and not have any visible anxiety. People will assume you're confident. If you're expressive, this is a big one. If you say and do what you want and you're just kind of out there and you're unapologetic about it, that's a huge indicator of confidence. And then frame, like, you mean what you say, like you don't back down. If someone kind of puts up resistance against you, you don't kind of like cower and like, oh, well, yeah, okay, and you kind of cater to them. If you have all those four things, all those things indicate confidence, and people will just think you're confident, all right? You never really need to directly work on this vague fucking terminology called confidence. Just work on these first four things and you will automatically come across as confident. So now I'm going to get into things that don't work, all right? Or I should say things that matter the least. What matters the least is specific game tactics, all right? So things like specific lines or specific stories you have to tell, like DHV stories, or, very, very specific and formulaic Kino escalation stacks. And basically anything that isn't just displaying an actual trait about yourself, like an actual valuable trait about yourself, those matter the least, because you could have the best line in the world, coolest, most clever fucking line in the world, but if you're not confident when you say it, and they can tell you're a little timid when you say it, then that line means fucking nothing. You could have the coolest DHV fucking story in the world, but if, again, you're not confident about it, and she can tell that it's kind of, you don't really mean it, then it's not really going to do anything. If you're good at holding eye contact, but the girl can tell you're nervous while you're holding the eye contact, then the eye contact doesn't really fucking matter. You're just a nervous guy who learned how to hold eye contact artificially. All right. So now again, I'm not saying these can't help at all, but the only times when they can actually help you is if you already have the foundation of all those other things. You already have to look good. You already have to be confident and expressive and be able to lead and escalate and all that other stuff. And then once you have that, then things like you want to like really tweak and refine things, and you have very specific situations that you run into that you need to get over, okay, then you can implement some specific lines and some specific strategies or whatever. But for the most part, really the only thing you need to do is have passive displays of value. Looks is passive because you always look how you look. General social skills is passive because that's just how you interact with people. It's always on. Expressiveness is passive because you're just passively always saying and doing what you want. Your frame is passive because it's just, yeah, every single time I say what I mean, like I move things forward. And if you challenge me on something, I'm not going to back down every single time. That's a passive trait. Any guy who maximizes their passive traits, not working on anything game related, no lines, no fucking structure, anything. If you just maximize all your passive traits, the ones that I just said, those 4 things, that's like 90% of what you need to do well with approaching and dates and all that other shit. All right. So yeah, that's what's important for approaches. And honestly, that's what's important for dates as well. I guess I would say with dates, add in being able to get to know the girl well and like build comfort and connection and all that other stuff. And then again, going for the pull every single time. But yeah, if you have those things, that's like literally 80 to 90% of what you need to get laid. All right, that's it.